What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, and this is a truly sad occasion for me, and I know it's for you as well. Um, we lost a legend last night in John Witherspoon. I like to call him Johnny Witherspoon. He died at his home in California at the age of 77. He was active all the way to the end. I think he posted on his YouTube channel just last week, and the news broke last night when I was actually in Ticket TV's live stream in the chat room, and Ticket was, pretty much just giving it to LeBron and KCP for stat padding in a blowout. And I'll do a video about that too, which is true. I mean, LeBron's a great player, but LeBron does do certain things that, I mean, if you're objective, you'll notice that he does these things. But anyway, the news broke, and it just totally just deflated the chat room. My first memories of John Witherspoon are from Hollywood Shuffle back in 1987 with Robert Townsend. Interestingly enough, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going off memory here a little bit, but I think John Witherspoon said that in his youth he was a male model. And I guess maybe he was still trying to get into comedy, or he was doing both or whatever. But he didn't really break through in life as far as Hollywood success until he was in, I guess, his late 40s. Like Hollywood Shuffle was the first movie I really remember him, and he might have been in something else before that. I do kind of remember a younger Johnny Witherspoon or something. I want to say he might have been in Car Wash, maybe. Uh, but he was in something I can recall when he was younger that I've seen subsequently. But the first movie I remember him being in my lifetime was Hollywood Shuffle. But I think the role that kind of really like pushed his career along that I can remember is his role in Boomerang. I think that kind of jettisoned his career. That was probably Eddie Murphy's comeback movie, an awesome soundtrack. But gotta coordinate. You know. Then I remember after that there was a role on Martin. He was Martin's uncle with the eye patch. And he used to get all, he get like, they had the reunion. He had the fake Eddie Murphy cousin that was dressed like Eddie Murphy from The Golden Child. And I remember John Witherspoon's character, he was real sensitive about anybody to say anything about his eye. What you say about my eye? But the role that really put him on the map, he was a meteor man too, man, but the role that obviously put him on the map was as Pops. As Pops from Friday, Friday is an absolute classic. It's a comedy classic, and of course he reprised that role twice in the sequel Next Friday in 2000, and Friday After Next, I believe, which was 2002, I think it was. And of course he played Pops in the Wayans Brothers television program. That was a great show that lasted several seasons. I think it was a WB network. Um, but I mean, you've seen Johnny Witherspoon in so many different things over the years. Some things that are memorable, some things maybe not as memorable. Of course, he lent his role to the Boondocks. Um, Also, of course, I think he was the grandfather character on there. I didn't really watch Boondocks as much as I probably should have, even though I know it's a brilliant show. But I don't know, for some reason, I just never watched it as much. Um, I remember him in Vampire in Brooklyn. Um, Awesome, awesome guy from what I can tell. Excuse me. Awesome person from what I could tell. Um, I read just now a little bit that David Letterman was the godfather to his children. One of his children, named JD, is active on social media. He'd been married since 1988. He's kind of getting married late. He was what, 46 at the time, 45, 46. Um, and I just don't know what to say, man. You know, it's. I mean, I saw that he was getting older. You know, that happens. But you don't. You want to think that a guy like him is going to live to be 120. You know, and I hate when you can't get prepared for these types of things. Some people you see they were diagnosed with this and that and that. So even though you're hoping for the best mentally in the back of your head, you're kind of preparing for the worst. But when it's a sudden death like that, it's just shocking. You know what I'm saying? It's shocking. It didn't really show any outward signs, to me at least, that he was ill in any way. Um, I don't want to speculate, but whenever someone passes away suddenly like that, I tend to think either two things. Um, Especially someone of his age, I either tend to think sudden heart attack or maybe a massive stroke. That tend to be the two things I think of. Um, I mean, it could have been other things as well, but man, that's why I always think they should do, if they're going to do these movies. I don't know what the holdout was. I know that Chris Tucker was a holdout. Chris Tucker was kind of holding up the process with there being a third Friday movie, but now with his passing, and I remember saying this to someone. I didn't say it explicitly, but I said, Johnny Witherspoon's getting up there. If they're going to do a Friday movie, they need to do it now. They need to do it now. I mean, Johnny's was, I think at the time, like 75, 74. Like, they need to go ahead and do it, man, while everybody's still alive. You saw what happened with Martin. Nobody's promised tomorrow. Thomas Michael Ford passed away. He was only 52 years old unexpectedly. So that kind of pretty much killed any aspect or any prospect, I guess I should say, not aspect, prospect of a Martin movie, a Martin reunion movie. So, I mean, they could still do it, but the movie would be missing something. It would be missing a lot without John Witherspoon's presence. It could still get done, but I think if they're going to do it without him, they're going to have to obviously mention his passing. They're gonna have to have a picture of him or something, maybe like what they did in the second house party where they had the picture of Robert Harris. Continuity. You got to show that he had passed away. And but I think at this point you don't do it. You don't do it because it's just gonna cast too much of a pall over the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna just the whole time in the movie you're gonna be like, damn man, Johnny's not in this. I mean, even though I know that Friday is an ensemble comedy, but John Witherspoon played such such a large part of the movies. You know what I'm saying? All of the classic, all the classic phrases and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I see you in a goddamn refrigerator, I want some pig feet, all the hog maw. Oh God. Yeah, man, but he's gonna be missed, man. He's gonna be missed a lot, man. I see all the tributes this morning out there from people in Hollywood, um, and like I said, from what I could tell, he was a great person, and he will truly, truly be missed. by everybody. Fans, friends, admirers, Hollywood in its totality will miss him. The comedy industry will miss him. And there's a huge void in entertainment today.